All right, guys. So today is CPI Inflation Day. It's a big day in markets. We'll see what happens. Yesterday we had the Bitcoin ETF approval, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen yesterday. I thought the way they did it was a little off, but hey. But I'm happy to see it, to be honest. Bitcoin all the way up to 47K. It didn't move up as much as I thought it might, unfortunately, but we still got some time. Bitcoin has run up to 47,000. Well, let's see if this bull action continues today. We do have a lot of upward movement today. All right, so here's the data. We're going to put the other data up on stream. Yeah, I was definitely wrong about the Bitcoin ETF approval. But like I said, guys, I want it to be approved. People act like I'm betting against it. I think sometimes people want, you know how kind of like Nate Diaz, even if the person he's fighting is like super friendly towards them, he like makes them their enemy. I think that's how a lot of Bitcoin people do it as well. Again, I hope it gets approved. I'm a pro Bitcoin person. Like I genuinely hope Bitcoin is approved. We have a crypto channel here where we promote like Bitcoin, we push Bitcoin, we want Bitcoin to be approved. Cam was right. The partner that I have in that crypto channel was saying he thought the approval would happen, and it was. I saw the Winklevoss twins posted. I also saw the Grayscale ETF approval. And so, hey, man, good for it, dude. I'm for it. I really am. Today we have inflation data. Honestly, I'm surprised we're not up more than this, in all honesty. My Apple trade's doing really well. Disney doing really well. Trying to see what else we got. All right, so CPI inflation data drops at 8:30 Eastern Time. Expectations are 0.2%. All right, team. Put this up on screen as well. We're gonna get some music playing here. Oh man, it's been a long day here on my end, man. Again, Carol tested positive day before yesterday, so she's just freaking. She feels horrible. She's got a high fever. She's got to get quarantined away from us. Yeah, what's the Bitcoin ETF? Isn't it a? Yeah, so I'm looking for. I'm looking for the grayscale symbol. GBTC. Tesla up a lot today as well. Amazon up, Apple up, Boeing is up. I'm in Boeing too, but it's kind of flat trade. All right, so now that it's approved, what's the symbol? Yeah, ARC B is the ARC one, but it's not out yet. Yeah, I think this is great news for crypto. She's doing all right, man. She's just not feeling good. High fever, you know, nausea. Yeah, just not feeling good, man. I'm just hoping I don't get it, dude, because like I've had to take care of everything here. So if I hit it, if I get it, it's gonna suck. But so I'm just hoping I don't get it. I'm hoping. Data drops at 8:30, guys. We're gonna do a poll like we always do here. Do me a favor, bump that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. Will today's CPI inflation data come in higher or lower than the 0.2% month over month expectation? Higher, lower, as expected. And then we're going to give another option for I don't know. Here you go. 0.2% is what's expected here today. How's your wife doing? She's doing all right. Yeah, that's what they gave her, beach bum. But yeah, she's doing all right. She started taking that yesterday for it. Yeah. Market Watch is showing 0.2%. You know, maybe some other ones are showing some different numbers, but Market Watch showing 0.2%. So, yeah, 0.2% is the expected number for base CPI, right? For base CPI, core CPI is expected month over month at 0.3%, and year over year for core is expected at 3.8%. Regular CPI month over month is expected at 0.2%, and year over year at 3.2%. So that's the expectations for today. All right. I primarily trade gold, so I'm watching closely. Yeah, where's gold at with all this stuff? Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's see if it keeps going. I mean, Bitcoin at 47. Hey.
Hey.
All right, guys. I was expecting more of a candle with Bitcoin. Go figure. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting a bigger move for Bitcoin too. Here's the move from the ETF. I think so, because it was so overwhelmingly expected, though, that it curbed some of the volatility, and so. But I mean, with that said, Bitcoin's all the way back up to almost 50,000. So being at 47, 48K is still a very good sign. Very good sign. If CPI is higher than expected, say 3.3%, will that increase the chance of rate cuts and boost financial stocks? No, it's the opposite. If CPI is higher than 3.3%, which is very high relative, so I'm sorry. So 3.3 is what they're expecting, or 3.2% is what they're expecting. So if it's higher than 3.3%, it will decrease the likelihood. Where would you get those? Where'd you get those? No, we have other ones. I know where they are. They're in our room. All right, in a second I'll go get them. Yeah, so if it's higher than 3.3%, it'll decrease the chance of cuts, because cuts happen whenever inflation is under control. And so if inflation is higher or worse than expected, then it'll decrease the chance of cuts and increase the chance of rate hikes. In turn, that's going to put more pressure on banks, because rate hikes are worse for banks, and it's going to cause that cycle. So it's actually the opposite of what you're saying. And AMC all the way down to 490s. Lower is better. Lower is what you want. I don't know what some of the new ETF starts trading. High CPI is worse, lower is better. Yeah, I'm interested in watching the Bitcoin ETF. We'll see. Well, it's a spot ETF, which would signal it's going to be the same price as Bitcoin, no? Do you think Mara and Riot will pump? I was shorting Riot, and I cut it yesterday, and it looks like for good reason. What saved me in that Riot trade, and again, it was a very small position, so it wasn't anything like huge. The reason I was hedging it, because I was long in Bitcoin in another one, and then short a couple Riot shares, and then whenever I saw that the Grayscale letter of approval from Twitter, it came out about a couple hours prior to the ETF getting approved. Once I saw the Grayscale letter, I was like, okay, and I cut the short, and you know that's kind of what you're supposed to do in a hedge. All right, guys. Again, Tesla up. Tesla up. We'll put the SPY up here. Put the Q up. What a day, though, man. Q all the way up to 410s. Now, CPI could ruin all the fun, though. You know, CPI it can ruin all the fun. No, I don't really trade small caps like that. Yeah, the Bitcoin ETF was approved. Again, I'm happy for it, man. I really am. I wanted it to get approved. Like I've devoted so much time and energy to my crypto channel over the years. Cam and I both have. And so if the Bitcoin ETF was not approved, it would be very unfortunate. It would be very unfortunate. Now, what I thought yesterday was that it wasn't going to get approved yesterday, just because I thought it was kind of weird that they specifically said we have not approved anything. And so I thought saying that and then coming out a couple hours later with the approval announcement was contradictory. And so my guess was that they were going to approve it later on, just not yesterday. And again, that was certainly wrong. They did approve it yesterday, which is great. And so, yeah, I'm for it. So I have the Q up, which is the NASDAQ. And then I have Bitcoin on the left, the Bitcoin futures contract. 0 fees for the ARK ETF for the first 6 months. Palantir working with the medical industry using AI to enhance performance and services. Palantir working with the medical industry. I think ARK ETF. Hey, what's up, Yair? nobody's hedging going into the data. Seems like everybody expects green every day. CPI might ruin the party. Yeah, I certainly don't expect green every day, but one of the trades that I am doing nicely with is, if you remember, I added to my Apple trade. My average price on Apple is about 130 or 183 for Apple, 183, and so I'm probably gonna take some of this off. You know, I'm up really nicely in Apple. We ended up buying this dip. Let's see where. We've made a bunch on Apple. We made like a lot on Apple. Let's see if we can. All right, so we have that up. Let's put this up. Beautiful trades here, man. Beautiful trades. They're small trades. You want to see kind of how I manage some swing trades? Like, check this out. Like, look, here's a 4-hour chart. All right, I'm going to zoom in. Look at how I manage these trades. Watch. These are my Apple trades. Look at that. And so again, I'm actually holding a larger position than this too. So we're kind of scaling in and out, in and out, in and out. But like, look how I attack this here. So again, I've been adding into Apple on these big dips. Everybody was telling me not to. Everybody was saying, don't do it. You know, Apple's going to crash. You know, the market's going to dip or the market's going to crash. Big influencers were telling everybody the market was going to crash. And then we got this beautiful bounce. I'm going to start taking some profit. I can now. So I'm going to take at least 20 shares off. So, oh, I can't yet. I got to wait 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we'll take at least 20 off of this. And just lock in some good profit on it and see what we want to do with the rest. It's not huge positions, but we're just kind of we're scaling out at the top, adding at the bottom, and then holding long term if we need to. And it works out really, really well for us on Apple. You can look at some higher, the S&P, the 477.40s, 477.40s. So we'll see what happens on that front as well. Yeah. What's your take on US 30? The Dow? I don't really trade the Dow that much. Let's see, /YM. We can see the Dow. I mean, the Dow's pumping here. If you look at the Dow on the left side, Dow up to 38K. Obviously he's had a really good move since December. In really November and October, it's been pumping up with everybody else. You look at a 10-day chart, it's kind of flat back since the end of December, but that's kind of like everything else. Everything else is kind of like that Apple, the SPY, the Q. So that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, which ETF are you talking about, G? Tech. I'm just going to call you Tech. Which ETF are you talking about? Yeah, the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, we can put the Q up. That's what I would normally watch, is the Q. Anyway, Q over 17,000 again. Q is over 17K. Well, for the last day, I've been taking care of my wife, who tested positive for you know what yesterday. Been running, or the day before yesterday, been running a really high fever. My kids were home from school too, and so she's running a high fever, body aches, headache, just feeling really rough. So I've been taking care of her the last few days. And most of the time, though, I go to like jujitsu. I work on other stuff for sure. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was a 3-hour day. I usually have to work on other stuff, and like you have to think about it. Like running a channel like this takes time. Like I have to edit titles and keywords and like all this different stuff, build different thumbnails, talk with mods, go back and forth with editors and devs and stuff like that. So it takes more time than just what you see me streaming. All right, so all approved Bitcoin ETFs and reported fees. Grayscale, symbol GBTC, 1.5% fees. Hashdex, symbol DeFi, 0.9% fees. Valkyrie, symbol BRRR, or my favorite, Burr, Gucci Mane, at 0.49%. Invesco, BTCO, symbol at 0.39%. Wisdom Tree at BTCW at 0.3%. Franklin EZBC at 0.29%. BlackRock, symbol IBIT at 0.25%. Fidelity FBTC at 0.25%. We also have Van Eck at HODL, HODL, symbol 0.25%. ARK21 at ARKB at 0.21%. And Bitwise BITB at 0.2%. So that's the symbols here, guys. That's the symbols. I don't think any of them are actually up yet. FBTC, no. Wait. BlackRock is up. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. Never mind. Yeah, so none of them are up yet. Yeah, so none of them are up, unfortunately. Grayscales is not. GBTC is another symbol. It's been open for like a year. GBTC is specifically Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and so they're probably going to change that symbol to the actual spot ETF. But yeah, look at the NASDAQ up, SPY up, 477s. Nvidia at 550. Yeah, Nvidia doing great. Look at Nvidia here. So we got the NASDAQ on the left. Here's Nvidia on the right. Nvidia up to basically 550. Crazy move here. Crazy move. Which ETF do you think will be the most popular? Well, I think Bloomberg's are very. Bloomberg as a company is huge. So I think Bloomberg, Grayscale, BLK, ARK are going to be the biggest ones. I think the other ones might be somewhat big, but I think ARK's, BLK, Grayscale are going to be the biggest ones. Maybe Fidelity. you know, thrown in there. So oh, we certainly ban our critics. I mean, of course we do. We certainly do. It depends on what I label them. Like, if I think somebody's sitting around trying to criticize me, I'll ban them very quickly. You know, so if I think somebody's just sitting around trying to talk smack, I'll ban them quick, bro. If I think... is just given a genuine critique, then I let them stay. You know, it depends on what it is. You know, this person says, hot take, no one actually wants AI to book their vacations, order a random pizza, have access to their bank account. Why are we creating tech no one wants? I honestly completely disagree, bro. Do you know, if I had a set order that I got for pizza places every time, right? Do you know how much I would love for AI to sit on the phone and order that pizza for me? I would love that, man. I would absolutely love that, bro. Freaking order a pizza? Dude, sign me up, man. I hate sitting on the phone with people, bro. I hate talking on the phone in general, right? I give people my number, and they call me, and they call me, and they call me. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. Like, bro, I grew up in texting. Like, I will text you back, okay? Maybe I'm young and part of the bad generation or whatever people want to say. I just don't like talking on the phone with people unless I'm talking to my dad or my mom or a family member of some sort. That's different. I don't want to talk to you on the phone, you know? If you can't text whatever it is back to me, message it to me. I don't want to talk, you know. I get it. We're going to criticize millennials or whatever it is, but like still. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'll hang up a text for sure. She's doing all right, Sam. She's sick. Yeah. She's sick, bro. I've been basically taking care of her. Living in a different room, unfortunately. Yeah, she's sick. Hey, everybody listen chat right now. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. While I'm gone, I'm going to list it up. List in chat. What's your prediction for today's CPI inflation data? All right, so list in chat. What's your prediction for today's CPI inflation data? All right, let me know what you guys think it's going to be. Expectations month over month for base CPI are 0.2%, 0.2%, and that's month over month. Expectations for year over year CPI are 3.2%, 3.2% on the year for base CPI. Again, list in chat right now what you think this number is going to show up as. If you don't remember, I've gotten this right almost every freaking time, almost every time. And so list in chat the numbers you think this is going to show up as. We'll see how close to being right you are and what happens, guys. So again, let me know in chat right now what you think this is going to be. All right, chat. So what did y'all get? 0.3%, 1.9%. I see 3%, 0.3%, 3.3%. I hope it comes in at 3% on the year. 3% on the year would be great. I just don't think it's going to. I just don't think it's going to, So again, I hope it comes in at 3%. A higher CPI, you guys predicting? My guess is that we're going to be a little bit over expected numbers today. I think we're going to be I'm going to go with 0.3% for CPI. Regular month over month, 0.3% is what I'm going to go with. Year over year, I'm going to go with 3.3%. 3.3%. Last time we came in at 3.1. This time we're expecting 3.2. I'm going to go with 3.3 on the year. On the month, I'm going to go with 0.3%. Last time we came in at 0.1%. So I'm going to do slightly. I'm guessing here. Pure guess speculation. Have no idea what we're actually going to show up as. But yeah, that's what I'm going to get. Again, I'm going to put a timer up. I forgot to put my timer up here. All right. So we got about an hour and 19 minutes or so. Yeah. All right. So here is how much time we got left. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Okay, so we got this. Bear with me, guys. Thoughts on AMD? Microchip should be doing well, and that includes AMD. If we take a look at it here, yeah, AMD, there's NVIDIA on the right. NVIDIA at almost 550s. Tapped it for a split second. AMD currently at 150s or so, just under 150s. Again, we're looking at the NASDAQ, which did break over 17K. It's trying to hold that now. Alright guys, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Okay. Alright, bear with me, guys. Um, 0.1% month over month, 3.1% on the year. Don't intend to buy Bitcoin ETF, just curious on the price action today. Yeah, again, we'll see. Hey, what's up, man? Crypto up, CPI comes in. Yeah, CPI has the chance to really influence this heavy. Okay. All right, guys. Bear with me here today, team. Again, I'm working on something. I gotta test my kids, to be honest. We'll see how that goes. Wish me luck here. All right, team. And again, you can see Nvidia rising up. Nasdaq's still sitting. Look at Nasdaq. It's right at 17,000. It's right at 17K. So again, we'll see what that looks like. It's right at 17,000. Hey, send your brother in here. And then I'm going to call you in a second, and you're going to have to come in here. But for now, send me your brother. All right, love you.
Love you.
All right, guys. So, we'll see how this goes. Hey, bud. Come here. Come here. I got to do it. All right.
It's live.
Yeah, it is live. Here, look. All right, guys. I'll be right back. Dude, my son is the biggest baby about this. It's so unbelievable. Like, I get freaking half an inch. Like, I get like less than a centimeter into his nose, and he starts screaming, unfortunately. Ugh. All right, NASDAQ at 17K. NASDAQ at 17K. I guess this is what we're going to get. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Well, we'll see how this goes. Wish me luck here. Sheesh. All right. NASDAQ over 17K. Over 17K. Market sentiment is bullish. Does anybody know if any of the ETFs are going to get approved today or not? If any of the ETFs are going to get approved. Does anybody know? Market sentiment is bullish. Data comes at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Which ETFs? Any of them. Are any of the ETFs live yet? I see Boeing is actually up nicely. I'm in Boeing. Amazon getting ready to break highs again. Look at Amazon. So here's NVIDIA on the right side. Look, we'll look at Amazon on the left. Or we'll look at Amazon on the right as well. Amazon testing highs at 155. Here's Google. Google's been doing great. Disney's been bouncing up a little bit too. We're in Disney tonight, so that's nice. AMC all the way under $5, but making another push towards, you know, something. Again, we can see the Q here. NASDAQ basic price action here. You can see the S&P 500. Bitcoin right now, you know, the regular futures Bitcoin ETF is currently at 47.2. So it's starting to make some moves up. It's still not hitting 48,000. IBIT is going to be available on Robinhood at 9:30. Okay, nice. It's already approved. Yeah, so they're already approved. Well, to buy them, you just got to wait for the symbol to reflect. One of the symbols is IBIT. This is Bloomberg symbols. You know, it's not live yet, but you can kind of see this is one of them, but it's not live yet. This is a different symbol that it's still running under. The other one is GBTC. Grayscale's one. This one's not live yet either. There's a lot of different ones. There's BRRR, which I believe is VanEck or Valkyrie. This is Valkyrie's Bitcoin fund. You know, and so that's kind of what we're looking at now. Here's AMC. We got Walmart. I'm trying to do some stuff here. Alright, so let me get this other one ready for my daughter here. Alright, so we got this one. Now I'm a little bit better at this, so I should be able to do this much quicker. Alright, so the SPY, I get up to 477s, guys, 477s. So SPY starting to run. Let's see if the NASDAQ can hold. Hey.
Yes.
Hey, come in here in about 1 minute, Okay?
Okay.
Alright. 1 minute. Love you. Alright. We got that. What else do we need here? There we go. Alright, we're good. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My daughter will be much less of a baby about this. Alright, Maddie, come here. Alright. Here, look, I can cover it. Alright, guys. I'll be right back. I have 2 kids. Sounds like a lot of people are going to buy the Bitcoin ETFs today. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, a lot of people want exposure to Bitcoin, and it's just hard for them to buy it. Like, a lot of people don't even know how to buy it, and it is a little bit more of a process. You know, it is a little bit more of a process. All right, you all right? All right, good job. All right, love you. I'll let you know. Alright. Is everyone waiting for this to go up? We'll be stuck in the trap. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. USD likely can't go any higher than 1.098, bro. That's my opinion based on technicals. Alright, bullish or bearish on CPI? I don't know. Let me know in chat, guys. What do you guys think? Alright, well, my son is negative. Luckily, my son's negative, although it wouldn't be, it's gonna be almost impossible to tell because he won't let me get it up in there. Yeah, boys are a different breed, brother. They really are, man. Boys. I mean, I'm just. Of course, there's outliers, and this is just stereotypes, right? But some of the stereotypes are true in that boys are feral, for lack of a better word, bro. Like, they are just a freaking. You know, my daughter, super nice, super good kid. Listened, behaved well, was super mild mannered and like easygoing and laid back. My son was just freaking, you know, different. Much more stressful. You know, you got to be much more stern. Amazon up to 155s. Again, Nasdaq still holding that 17K level, but again, that's just in general, right? There's always outliers. Any idea how ETF will be priced? Well, I'm assuming it's gonna be priced as Bitcoin, but you know. Yeah, I'm coming off 2 in a row, but again, I would love to brag and act like I've got some type of predicting skill with this. I am completely lucky. Like, I got incredibly lucky. You know, I'm just kind of throwing out like generalizations about CPI, and just using basic guessing. Yeah, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Again, point is, I got lucky with the last 2. I'm not, skill wasn't involved. Maybe a little bit of skill, but I just got really lucky, I think. Real question is, can retail handle Bitcoin volatility? I don't know. We'll see. Do we have 100 likes? Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. You are the one releasing the CPI, confirmed. I mean, yeah, I'm releasing it. But, you know, okay, yeah. I mean, believe that. I guess I'll allow you to believe. Yeah, I'm the one place that you can find CPI. Again, I'm the place that you can find it. I'll cover it as soon as it drops. The reason we'll have thousands of people here live when it comes out. The reason we get thousands of people here is because we cover it very quickly relative to everybody else. You know, the next thing people are talking about are XRP ETF. That's a different story. All right, both kids. Hello. All right, we're back. Yep, great channel. Hey, thank you. Yes, I'm married. All right, so look at SPY moving up again. Nasdaq still holding. All right, team. Bro, are people really hating on Rampage the poker player, dude? Like, one thing you'll notice is, like, the people... Like, people that get weird, the weirdest, are people who wish they could do what you're doing, right? Like, people that want to do what you're doing are usually your biggest haters, unfortunately, right? Like, jealousy is, like, a huge thing. It really is. Especially in, like, poker or trading. It's a huge thing, man. It's unfortunate people are like that. But, hey, it is what it is. Wait, so is the BLK ETF trading live? Is IBIT, is this the actual Bitcoin trade spot ETF? All right, so yeah, here's IBIT, guys. So here's one of the Bitcoin ETFs. Currently at 27.31 for iShares Bitcoin Trust, which is the BLK one. Yeah, supposed to go live today. Nothing's really going on with him. People are just hating on him. Like, they're trying to accuse him of multi-accounting, like multi-accounting, like using multiple accounts, basically. But the only way using multiple accounts is bad is if you enter a tournament with both accounts at the same time, right? Like, collusion is basically what that is. He obviously wasn't doing that. He said you could check the stats. Like, he never entered the same tournament or the same game with multiple different accounts, ever. You know, if he's not doing that, then what does it matter? You know, people are just desperate to hate. Like, anytime somebody makes it big and other people wish they did, they're usually the biggest haters on it. But MicroStrategy could go through the roof today. Yeah, where's MicroStrategy at today relative to everything going on? Here's MicroStrategy right now. It's up pretty big. It's up to almost $600 a share. So, oh, DJ says, when old friends ask me about what's up and all that blah blah blah, keep it vague. Biggest haters are close to you. 100%. Absolutely. I've learned to do that over time. Yeah. CPI comes out, there's or about 1 hour is when it drops. What do you think gold is? Where's gold at relative to all that? You see MicroStrategy up there. There's Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 47.3 thousand. So Bitcoin's still in a steady rise up, Yeah, so gold right now, where's gold at? Gold currently sitting futures-wise at 2030s. Moving up really nicely today, though, so gold's up a lot. Yeah, you got a lot of poker players getting into politics. All right, team. All right, so look at gold, look at Nasdaq. Jim Cramer said the Bitcoin ETF will never be approved, no chance. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, or this is just the fake account. But all right, guys, you ready for CPI inflation data to come out? Hit that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button if ETH stays strong. Where's ETH at relative to all this stuff? Again, I'm looking at Nasdaq here, the Q price action. Nasdaq's kind of flat in anticipation of this. Where's ETH? Because you know the ETH ETF's coming next. Are my charts out? What's going on? Is Toss charts out? Or is what's going on? Can y'all hear me? Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay, good. I don't know what my charting is out. My charting is off. Oh. Yeah. Alright. Alright, good. Y'all can hear me. Alright, I don't know what's going on with my charts though. That's weird. Bitcoin charts working. Or Nasdaq charts working. Gold's not working either. Here, weird. So the internet's working. We hear you. Yes, you're good. Okay, thank you, team. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to refresh my internet, I guess, here. Or not my internet, my TOS. TOS is acting up. So for the time being, we will put the S&P 500 up here. Here's the S&P futures contract. You know, market's doing pretty well this morning. While we refresh. ETH is way up. You hear it's about charts, I lose it too. For those using TOS at home, are y'all charts working? Are your TOS charts working? Mine aren't. I want to take $1,000 risk. What should I buy so I make the most out of it? I don't care if I lose it all. I have no idea, brother. I have no idea. That's a very risky trading strategy, and it sounds like a gamble, brother. Chat, y'all can answer him stuff. I really don't know. If I had $1,000 to risk, what I would probably do... Yeah, look at all my charts are down on TOS. Weird. All my charts are down on TOS. Well, trading view it is then. The good news is that we can put like the Nasdaq up. Okay, there's the charts. The charts are back. I don't know what was going on. Anyways, here's gold. Here's ETH. Where's ETH at? ETH up to 2660. Wow. But yeah, if it was me, and again, I'm gonna preface this with like, bro, I have no idea what you should do with your $1,000, brother. Genuinely no idea what you should do with your $1,000. All right, so again, genuinely looking at, yeah, genuinely can't tell you what to do. It's a very risky trading strategy. I'm not an investor, liable if you lose money. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Okay, might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Now, with that said, if it was me and I had $1,000, what I would probably do is, I would probably, again, probably wait for blue chips to drop drastically. Wait for big pullbacks in blue chip companies. Wait for big pullbacks in blue chip companies. You know, look for Apple to have weeks and weeks of big red action, weeks and weeks of red action in some other large cap stocks, and then or maybe the S&P, maybe the Nasdaq, and I would buy that up and then sit on it. And if I'm wrong short term, I would hold it long term, and if I'm right short term, I would take profit. And that's probably what I would do. But again, with that said, this is coming from somebody who has no idea what he's talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. No, I can't read your message, Dragon. You know, I just can't read it at all. I have no idea what cryptos you should buy. No idea. Yeah, please stop spamming. Alright, AMC still at 490s. Boeing up nicely again today. And again, we are in Boeing. We are green in Boeing very slightly. Amazon up. Apple up. Oh, I can actually take some profit on Apple, which was the plan earlier today. Alright, so we just covered half of our Apple trade. You'd love to see it. ETH will 100% get to 3K soon. That's the initial target. Yeah, I mean, you could buy a miner, right? You could buy a Bitcoin miner, and I understand that. But like, aren't utilities so expensive now that like mining Bitcoin's not the most profitable thing ever? You know, even if you buy a KS3 9.5 or 9.4, you know. Utilities are so high. How much do these things run? 10K is not that bad. Especially after the halving. Just a general question. When did you start trading? Buy a Bitcoin miner. Get your head out the gutter, Jay. That's weird, bro. No. I started trading in 2016, 2017. What will happen if CPI comes in at 3.5%? Market will probably drop. Almost certainly. I mean, 3.5% is much higher than expected. So again, we come in that, market will probably fall. Almost certainly. Again. Hey, Maddie, I just texted you Jack's vitamins that he has to take. Also, make sure y'all come in here and give me a hug before y'all leave, okay? What?
Okay.
Alright, love you. Bye.
Love you, sir.
Alright, guys. Well, will market open? Market opens at 8:30 or at 9:30. So we got a couple hours for that. The CPI inflation data drops at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah. Amazon broke high, still ripping up here. Look at ETH on the right side. Look at Amazon on the right side as well. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming in high or low. I really don't. Yeah, I did see that, Wesley. But I mean, it's not a surprise. Like forex companies are going to be increasingly under fire, um, because again, they're offering fees and a bunch of stuff. Like that's what it is. Like they're offering a bunch of stuff that's not allowed here, you know, versus something like Top Step as an example, where Top Step futures are regulated here in the U.S. Like they're completely allowed. So I mean, you know. You guys ready? All right, again, Bitcoin ETFs, we had Grayscale, Hashdex, Valkyrie, Invesco, Wisdom Tree, Franklin, BLK, Fidelity, VanEck, ARK, and Bitwise, all dropping. Still new to trading and still learning. Do you ever buy or invest in non-public stocks, or is better rule to wait for IPO? Curious about. I mean, you can trade it. You can invest in those. They're more risky though, but bigger risk, bigger reward sometimes with that type of stuff. Hey, what's up, Sebastian? All right, guys, we got 700 people here live. We still got over 40 minutes until inflation data drops, though. We still got over 40 minutes. Yeah, again, I'm going to go with 0.3% for CPI month over month, 3.3% for CPI year over year. I actually got a pretty good track record. Again, the last two CPIs, I guessed exactly right. I'm pretty sure I guessed them exactly right. Again, I would love to act like it's skill, though. Again, do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I would love to act like it's skill. I just got lucky. I really did. All right, guys. What else we got going on today? So today's a big day. First Bitcoin ETFs starting to go live for spot Bitcoin ETFs. That is CPI inflation data. Tomorrow we have bank earnings with earnings season starting. Big boy bank earnings starting. A lot of big stuff coming out, guys. So again, y'all be ready. Yeah, I'm just hoping I don't get sick, man. Again, Carol tested positive a day before yesterday. So far, so good. I've been taking care of her, and so I have been around her a little bit, but I haven't been showing any symptoms so far, you know. So I'm hoping I'm okay. Hopefully everything's good, but man, I'm wondering what the incubation period is. Some people say it's like anywhere between like 3 and 7 days, but Please stop saying the same thing over and over again, guys. Like, come on, man. Again, if we don't respond to you within 30 seconds, do not say the same thing again. You'll get banned very quick. I like gold as a long-term inflation hedge, but short-term it can be volatile. She's doing all right. She's still sick, but she's doing okay. What's up with spammers today? Yeah, I mean, most of them are from overseas, and they, you know, is what you'll notice. I'm not sure why that is. Why people from overseas tend to spam more in my streams, but and it's always about gold too. Gold, I like gold. Gold's one of the best long-term inflation hedges in my opinion, but short-term, you know. All right, team. What does it mean if CPI inflation data is higher than expected? It means prices are higher, it's bad. Market will react negatively. Yeah, I love gold. Again, if you don't understand markets, guys, again, I'll talk about this. If you don't understand markets, most of investing in the S&P, in the NASDAQ, in gold, in real estate, you know, in silver, in other precious metals, whatever you're investing in, most of the time it's an inflation hedge. You're trying to hedge against inflation long term, because if you sit on cash, you're probably going to lose money long term. Like, that's just the reality of it. If you sit on cash, your dollars are going to get devalued from inflation long term. And so because of that, you buy up and you sit on something. You know, so it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, it could be real estate. Whatever you want to do, you can do it that way, right? And all of those are generally pretty safe long-term inflation hedges, meaning over the long run, you're almost certainly make money. You could buy bonds with that type of stuff as well. And again, gold has 7x'd in the last 20 years. So gold has gone up 7 times its value in the last 20 plus years. The S&P is about 4x'd, you know, it gone up about 300%. You know, silver has done about the same, you know, so, or silver has done a little bit better. Actually, real estate has gone up, you know, somewhere around there as well. So they're all hedging against inflation. And with that said, gold is one of the best inflation hedges, right? Like, if you look at gold prices over long-term history, you know, here's gold back in 2000. Gold in 2000 was at $300. Today, gold is at about 2,100. And again, you can do the math. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 7x. So pretty good for gold. Pretty good for gold. It's gone up 600% since 2000. Yeah, Tesla. Where's Tesla at right now? We got some big boys dropping earnings too. Tesla back up again today. So look at Tesla. Tesla just made a leap back up over the previous closing price. I'm not sure what it's doing here, but here's Tesla. It originally gapped down today over the last couple minutes. This must be some news. So something came out. Hertz has made a strategic decision to sell roughly 20,000 EVs from its fleet, or about 1/3 of global EV fleet. Decision to reduce EV fleet will result in recognition during Q4 of 23 about $245 million of incremental net depreciation expenses. So again, Hertz is dumping its Tesla stocks, or their Tesla vehicles. That is what's dropping Tesla here over the last 20 minutes or so. So again, we're putting this number up, or we're putting this news release on stream. You can see it. That's what's happening here. Is Hertz is dropping Tesla. Again, if you look at HTZ, which is the symbol for Hertz, you can see they're down, you know, significantly from this. So interesting nuance today. Nvidia at 550s right now. So Nvidia over 550s, just churning up lately. I would rent an EV. Why wouldn't you rent an EV? You know, fun gas, good gas mileage. I mean, I guess charging is the hardest part. I would rent one just so I could see what it's like to drive one. You know, because a lot of people are certainly curious about EVs. They just don't want to buy one, you know? And so I think it makes a lot of sense to rent an EV. Gary G issued a statement on Bitcoin saying, quote, while we approved the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin ETP shares today, we did not endorse or approve Bitcoin, end quote. Gary G. The not goat. Yeah. All right, guys, we got about 900 people here. We still got 30 plus minutes left. Who's the most hated guy on the planet? Elon? I mean, that's certainly true. Oh, Gary G is who you're referencing. Either it could, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you know. Honestly, as an LSU fan, I'm okay with him retiring. You know, he's probably, I mean, it's not even probably, he is the greatest college football coach of all time. He won LSU their championships. He certainly won Bama theirs. Bitcoin's IBIT ETF has already had $2 million in trading today alone. This will be fun. Again, earnings season starts tomorrow. Earnings season starts tomorrow. Alongside the ominous approval order. Yeah. How to avoid overtrading? I mean, trade small, bro. Set good rules. Condition yourself to trade. Yeah, Nvidia flying up, guys. Look at it. And again, it's interesting. Like, the Nasdaq's mostly been flat. Look how flat the Nasdaq is leading into all this stuff today. So the Nasdaq is basically sideways. It's not doing anything. And this is not really outside of expectations. Most of the time leading into big economic reports like today's CPI report, most of the time the market looks like this, right? So generally, most of the time the market's going to be like this, which is a good thing. I graduated from LSU. Go Tigers, sir. Go Tigers. You know, I'm from Baton Rouge originally, so go Tigers. You know, I have an interesting dynamic though. Like, my dad's from Alabama. You know, some of my uncles went to Auburn. My grandfather went to Bama, but I'm from Baton Rouge. I never went to LSU. But if you know the culture there, you know it doesn't matter whether you go there or not. If you're from Louisiana, you're rooting for LSU. And so yeah. What's your bias on pound US dollar? I really don't know. I mean, I think typically it's gonna do similar things to like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. It's not really something I usually trade. Yeah, we got 30 minutes until the data comes out. I'm the guy that sold AMD and Nvidia that started to rip up, kicking myself so bad right now. That sucks, David. Yeah, and AMD earnings are what sparked off this market rally. Again, I've said this many times before, but like if you look at AMD, And then you look at the dates behind when AMD rallied versus when the NASDAQ rallied. When AMD dropped earnings, which I believe were right here, right? AMD dropped earnings on October 30th, I'm pretty sure. And you look at what sparked the NASDAQ run, you'll notice it's literally the same day. And so microchip earnings, i.e. AMD earnings, are really what drug this crazy bull action. So here's AMD drop there. Huge run all the way back up, and this is a weekly chart. So AMD dropped their earnings here. Same thing right here. Look at AMD earnings here. NASDAQ has flown up since then. So one of the things that sparked this latest bull run, whenever we had been literally pulling back for months, the market had been dipping for months prior to AMD earnings, they sparked this crazy bull run in markets. They really did. And you can see how much AMD ripped up, and in turn how much the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow have pushed up, specifically from AMD's earnings report, sparking all this stuff. So AMD's earnings sparked it, and that's kind of what went down. Tesla is now very sensitive with, tips. Gold bullish or bearish? Nothing's bullish or bearish right now, I think, except for maybe Bitcoin. The spot ETF is going to be going live today. A lot of them are going to be going live today. But again, I wouldn't call anything necessarily bullish or bearish. I think most stuff's waiting for CPI inflation data to drop first. So I think most stuff's waiting for inflation data to come out. Again, we're going to ask this again. Will inflation data help or hurt today's market? Will inflation data help or hurt today's market? All right, so we're gonna do a poll here, guys. We're gonna do a poll. Bullish, bearish. We're gonna do it for 3 hours is how long we're gonna do this poll. Again, we're doing a poll on Twitter. Will today's US CPI inflation data cause a bullish or bearish response in markets? Let us know how you feel. We got about 1,000 people here live. We still got we got about 1,000 people here. We're still watching. NVIDIA on the left, NASDAQ on the, or NVIDIA on the right, NASDAQ on the left, I mean. Kathy Wood said at least 25% of her financial net worth is in Bitcoin. Why is $100 Supra trending? Oh, Supra, never mind. It's a crypto coin. I'm a early 2000s car guy, JDM. So with that said, I like Supras too. The old Supras, the new ones, they're all right. All right, so NVIDIA pull it back a little bit here. 26 minutes, guys. 26 minutes. I wonder how many famous people visit chat. OG supers are sick. Yeah, sorry, my dog's barking, yelling, barking. Yeah, it's Bruce. Big Papa Bruce. Hello. Hey. Your mom's here, baby. Yes. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to get my kids off to school. We're back. Do we move up or down today, guys? Do we move up or down? Again, Amazon, rip it up. Dollar index, moving down. Boeing up a little bit today. You can see NVIDIA being absolutely ridiculous with the gains today. NVIDIA up well over $500, been holding over $500, breaking lifetime highs pretty regularly. And again, you can kind of see NVIDIA. I'm assuming the bullish nature of this is this, right? So Bitcoin lifetime highs 546 during market hours. I'm assuming the reason NVIDIA is up so much is because microchip optimism from crypto, bullishness, right? So I think there's sometimes a positive correlation between crypto and microchips, right? Because again, microchips benefit crypto with mining and miners and all that stuff. And I think both of them can impact the others in a positive way. So yeah, I think that's what's going on. I mean, I know NVIDIA also had some good news. My wife was digital. My wife is for sure. Yeah, NVIDIA is already over 550 currently, just not during market hours. So NVIDIA currently is at 550.6. It hit highs this morning of 551.30s. Again, you can kind of see the NASDAQ on the left, very choppy, very slow. If you look at Bitcoin, the IBIT iShares Bitcoin, which is BLK's Bitcoin ETF, it is up to 2740. So we got well over 1,000 people here. We still got 20 minutes left, guys. 20 minutes left. Yeah, thank you, Digital. She's doing all right, man. She's still sick, high fever and stuff, but yeah, I mean, AMD's following NVIDIA to a certain extent. It might not be following it to a T, but it's following it to a certain extent. The data release is, there's a timer in the top left. I'm also going to put this up here so you guys can see it. There you go. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time is when the data is released. 8:30. US 30, the Dow. If CPI is CPI higher, good for markets or bad? It's bad. It means higher inflation. Higher CPI means higher pricing. Higher inflation. It's not good. It's worse for markets. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. High CPI means high inflation, unfortunately. All right, guys, we got about 1,100 people here live. Y'all hit the like button, guys. Run the like numbers up if you haven't already, team. We appreciate it. Let's grow this channel more and more every day. What do you think NVIDIA stock price? I think it's pretty high, but I think it's good. And I think, again, I think people are betting with NVIDIA on optimism and mining and crypto. So I think that's kind of what's going on, is optimism and mining and crypto. All right, so, never mind. All right, so Elon said, I am open to the idea of using Bitcoin on X. All right, we got about 1,200 people here live. We still got over 17 minutes, or over 16 minutes left. Why did most people think CPI will be higher? I'm guessing CPI will be higher as well, but I don't know for sure. I saw 300 NVIDIA shares today at open. Hey, good luck, John. Again, NVIDIA might move a lot because of inflation data, though. Remember, inflation data drops today. Yeah, so remember, inflation data drops today, so it's a big day. If you're questioning whether it's too early to ship your product, just remember that Boeing shipped 737 MAX airplanes without fully tightening down the bolts. Obviously sarcastic, kind of semi-sarcastic. All right, so here's an interesting thing to understand about the Bitcoin ETF. For anyone wondering why Bitcoin has not moved in a big, huge way, a couple reasons for it. A lot of leverage got, destroyed yesterday. To a certain extent, markets are already front-loaded into this Bitcoin ETF reaction and approval. After 9:30 Eastern Standard Time today, that's when a lot of the ETFs can actually start accepting capital in acquiring Bitcoin and stuff like that, right? So after 9:30 is when we might see some of the bigger reactions in this crypto stuff, but we don't really know exactly when or where that's going to be or what that'll look like here, team. So again, bear with me, pun intended, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, Boeing's up because it was down so much after this news, but it's still down relative to the news report. Again, I actually bought Boeing, and we're actually green on Boeing, dip buying the big reaction. So we got in Boeing at 228 or so, around 228s. So, anyone know the stock symbol for? It's IBIT is what it is. So that's BLK symbol, IBIT. Do you think the Spire Q will rocket if it's lower, or will they dive a bit? If CPI is lower, markets will almost certainly push up. So if CPI is lower, markets will almost certainly push up is what it is. Again, lower is better, higher is worse. That's the thing to always remember and understand. Lower is better, higher is worse. All right, so the El Salvador president, Nayib, says we got in way before BLK. All right, team. Hey, we got over 1,000 people here live. We're still waiting on the news to drop. Till rate times 100. Yeah, will CPI come in good or bad today, guys? Good or bad? Yeah, I mean, CPI data is when we get the biggest amount of people here. CPI, FOMC meetings are when we get the most people live. You know? So, that's kind of what happens. Yeah, I mean, you might have been right, pray and trade. I mean, it's all good, brother. Again, I was certainly wrong about when it would be approved. I hope it was approved. I think I was pretty clear about that. But I was certainly wrong about when the approval was going to happen. So, I mean, it's all love, bro. It's all love. I'm happy it got approved for sure. I'd rather it get approved and be wrong than it not get approved and be right. The market's not moving because it's ahead of CPI inflation data. And so the reason the market's not moving is because you got to think about it like this, right? CPI inflation data has the ability to wildly influence markets, all right? This is really obvious because traders are less likely to take big time positions during this. Traders are less likely to take big time positions during this. Because again, when the data drops, regardless of what happens or what technical analysis showed CPI is going to wildly influence markets. And so if you take a big position now based off of something, CPI is going to change whatever you base your position off of, most likely. And so traders in general are more apprehensive ahead of economic reports like this because, again, these economic releases could wildly influence the market outside of their positions. And so because of that, typically leading into these economic reports in about 9 minutes is when this report drops, a little bit over 9 minutes. When the market drops this report, the market's going to move heavily. People's positions are going to move heavily. And so one of the very common things that you see from these reports is you see the market stay really choppy ahead of it. And again, you can kind of see the NASDAQ just kind of going like this ahead of the report because, again, market knows what's up. The market knows that, the market knows what's up. The market knows that this could wildly influence markets. You can see the IBIT Bitcoin, this is the BLK Bitcoin. Look at Amazon ripping up, Nvidia ripping up today. So bullish action in blue chip and tech specifically. Bitcoin will probably be affected by CPI to a certain extent, John. It usually is. So Bitcoin will probably get affected at least a little bit by CPI. It's not going to be as affected as like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, but it's still probably going to move with the report. I think a lot of people are buying it, Nima. I think let's look up earnings. So we got earnings season starting in the next week or two. Tomorrow we got like JP Morgan earnings, a very big day. PPI is also tomorrow as well. Tesla earnings. Tesla earnings are on the 26th. On the 24th for Tesla earnings. So we got a couple weeks there. AMD earnings are on the 30th. Nvidia earnings are in February. MU earnings are in March. Amazon earnings are in February. Apple earnings are February 1st. So yeah, we're looking at some big boy earnings. What else we got here today, team? Microsoft earnings, January 23rd. Snapchat, February. Anything else that I'm missing here, earnings-wise? AMC, GameStop. Let's see about Google. Google's February 1st. So yeah, most earnings are coming out like at the end of this month, beginning of next month. So most of the big earnings drop not next week, but the week after. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love, team. Thanks so much. Let's continue the growth here, team. Let's continue the growth. Again, give me your last minute predictions here in chat right now. Give me your last minute predictions. You got about 2,000 people here live. Here, team, about 2,000 people here live. Markets are still looking pretty good. Again, Bitcoin, BLK's Bitcoin ETF, IBIT just ripped up, broke highs for a split second, got up to 2780s here, 2780s. Boeing moving up a little bit this morning as well. And again, we are in Boeing. We bought the dip after the big drop. We ended up buying that up. Again, here's the NASDAQ on the left. Here's the SPY on the right. Again, SPY at 477s here. So still gapping up, still very strong. I mean, I think the data's gonna be good. Market will scream. I hope so. I always hope it comes in higher, but you never really know. You know what I mean? All right, guys, we got 5 minutes here, team. 5 minutes. We got 2,000 people here live. Also, I'm going to throw this thing in sub-only mode, so everybody, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the notification bell. Amazon breaking highs in anticipation of this report. There's the NASDAQ moving up a little bit, although the NASDAQ, again, incredibly flat right now, guys, incredibly flat. see the trend going up. 17,000, please. Yeah, the Nasdaq's at 17K. Again, Boeing almost up to 229s. I have 15,000 in put options. Y'all just be careful. Again, a lot of people end up like wanting to take bets based off of some of this stuff. Like, again, what I always tell people is, look, you should not be taking huge polarized positions based off of CPI, because nobody knows not only what the numbers are going to be, but how the market is going to respond to it. And so if you find yourself like betting huge size on whatever the outcome of this report is, you're usually gambling way too much. You're usually getting in like a huge gamble that you should not be doing, because again, the outcome is certainly unknown. And so if you're trying to look to get this big rush from this report and take huge positions based off of it, again, you're gambling. I would stop. But again, I'm not telling you what to do. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. We'll see what happens here, team. We'll see what happens. Again, hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. NASDAQ ripping up over 17,000. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely one. Frederick, you know. Hey, what's up, V? NASDAQ breaking out of the wedge. Yeah, NASDAQ is moving up a little bit. Amazon dragging markets up. You can see NVIDIA pumping up, too. You get NVIDIA at 551s. Yeah, the first reaction can be right sometimes, but a lot of the time we get one reaction and then another to the other side. Some of them are insiders. Some of them are just gambling, though. Let's see a new low for 10 years today. Where's bonds at anyway? So I'm looking at bonds. Yeah, we got well over 2,000 people here. Get ready, guys. Get ready. We got 3 minutes here, team. 3 minutes. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. If you have not already, sub, hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. All right, guys. We got a minute and a half left, team. A minute and a half left. You guys ready? Let's get this ready here. Today is Thursday. We ain't got no job and we ain't got ish to do but watch CPI today, team. Y'all be ready. Again, expectations 0.2% on the month. Expectations 0.2% on the month. 3.2% on the year. Core CPI expected at 0.3%. Again, at 0.3% on the month. And on the year, it's expected at 3.8%. 3.8%. Again, hit the live button next to the play button. Okay, make sure your play button is red like this. If you haven't yet, make sure your play button is red like this, team. You want your play button to look like this, red. If it's not, you're delayed. You can also put it in 2x speed or whatever you want to do. All right, guys, 1 minute here, team. 1 minute. Markets push it up. Oh, we do have jobless claims today, too. I forgot. We have jobless claims unemployment filings today. Expectations for that are 210,000. NASDAQ is moving up a lot in anticipation of this report here, guys. Interesting. NASDAQ's moving up a ton. 40 seconds, guys. 40 seconds. I'm going to pause this timer because this timer's a little bit off. And so, again, we got 30 seconds now. 30 seconds. Yeah, remember, again, as I always say, this is incredibly risky trades to take bets on this, but hey, we're going to cover it like we always do. Again, 20 seconds here, 20 seconds. NASDAQ rip it up, SPY on the right at 478, roughly 478. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. And here's the report, guys. 5 seconds. And here's the report live. There's the report. All right, guys, jobless claims came in at 202, under-expected at jobless claims at 202. Actual CPI came in at 3.4% on the year, 0.3% on the month. Guys, this is the third CPI report I've gotten right. 0.3% on the month, 0.2% expectations 0.3% versus 0.2% expected on the month. Dude, this is the third report I've gotten right. Wow. Again, slightly higher than expected. Market's dumping down a little bit on this report. Higher than expected. 0.3% versus 0.2% expected. Jobless claims came in at 202,000 versus 210,000 expected. Again, 0.3% versus 0.2%. I got it right again. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked I got it right again, bro. I don't even know what to say. I got it right again here, team. I don't know what to say. Again, 0.3%. Core CPI came in as expected at 0.3%. A little bit higher than expected on the year. But again, higher than expected, 0.3%. We'll put this data up on screen. Man, we got it right again, dude. I don't even know what is going on. There's the report right there. Dude, this is the third CPI report in a row I've gotten exactly right on my predictions. Super weird, honestly. And again, I'm mostly just guessing. I'm using balance as a factor in this. Like, if it came in lower than expected last time, I'm using that as a factor here. But man, dude, third inflation report in a row I've gotten right. Super strange. Super strange. Again, came in higher than expected, 0.3% versus 2.2%. Jobless claims, again, came in at 202 versus 210. Core CPI came in at 0.3 versus 0.3. So higher than expected almost everywhere. Market's starting to turn to the downside here. Market's starting to turn. Yeah. The report is bad, Andrew. It means inflation and prices ultimately were higher than expected, which means inflation was higher than expected. Obviously, higher inflation is not an optimistic or a positive sign for both rate hikes, potential in the future, when we're going to start cutting rates, all that good stuff. And with that, you can see the market start to turn to the downside drastically now, breaking down here, starting to certainly influence the market to the negative side. Again, core CPI came in as expected basically on the month, higher than expected on the year again. So everything was slightly higher than expected. Core CPI higher than expected, base CPI higher than expected month over month and year over year to a certain extent. So everything was higher than expected for the most part. Jobless claims came in lower than expected as well, which signals more people working and ultimately more people spending, which is also worse for inflation, right? But that's what we're in right now. Again, higher than expected. Not a good sign for markets here, guys. Not a good sign for markets. With that said, though, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step is a funded program in futures. If you want to day trade this report, I can day trade it on Top Step just like this. There's no PDT rule. I can day trade, short it, buy market, sell market. I'm going to go ahead and short this report if I can. Hold on, let me see if I can get it connected. But again, I can buy market, sell market. I can day trade essentially the SPY, essentially the Q, same price action, no PDT rule. I can buy market, sell market, all that good stuff, no PDT rule. And again, you can kind of see I'm shorting this right here. We're up 50, 60 bucks. I'm going to go ahead and cover that, make a little 50 bucks. We might actually add a little bit more to this. But again, we can day trade, no PDT rule in futures. Most people that try to get around the PDT rule, they try to go with a cash account or they try to put up tens of thousands of dollars. This is a really bad thing. Most day traders lose. And so you can either put up thousands yourself and probably lose it, or you could try a funded account program. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for it. The base one's 50 bucks. So if you lose, you're only out 50 bucks. They give you a demo and test your skill. If you could pass it though, you get 90% split once you're funded anyway. It's very similar to putting the money up yourself. There's just much less risk. If you lose, you're only out 50 bucks. If you're good enough to pass it, you get between 50 to 150K in funding with a 90% split. They have free funding coaches. A lot of cool stuff. Trading these are very, like trading the S&P or the NASDAQ is very similar to trading Apple or Amazon. There's just no PDT rule. And so it's a great way to learn how to day trade with less risk for as low as $49. Use the link right here. Great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm certainly biased in their favor because they pay me money. But again, genuinely useful, guys. Genuinely useful. Check them out. There's the link in chat. You can also use the link in the description as well if you want to help support your boy here in this channel. Man, I'm lagging a little bit here. Yeah, I'm lagging a little bit here, team. Weird. I don't know if it's my internet today or what. There we go. It's getting a little bit better. Again, we're shorting into this big move here, guys. So you can see we're up 60, 50 bucks. We're shorting into this big move. We're going to go ahead and cut that here if we can. Let me get out. There we go. All right, so we cut it. There we go. So we're out. Man, playing around with this today. Day trading. Yeah, honestly, that's the third CPI report in a row I've gotten right. The third one in a freaking row, dude. I don't know how I'm getting it right every time. It's starting to go past luck a little bit. Again, what I'm doing is I'm looking at balance. It's really all I'm doing here, team. So I'm really just looking at balance, right? So I'm looking at, like, I'm just trying to stay balanced. So, like, if inflation reports have come in a specific way for multiple, like, CPI reports in a row, then I'm kind of taking the other direction, if that makes sense. And I'm using slight. I'm not betting something wildly outside of expectations, because usually the banks and the analysts do a pretty good job at, like, getting these things right. That's all I'm really doing here. And so I'm using, like, small nuances of balance to kind of, you know, make these predictions. But again, somehow I've been getting them all right. Again, that's my third one in a row I've gotten exactly right. Again, market's dipping a little bit down here. We'll see if we continue to hold or what happens here. Market's actually starting to head back up a little bit from the CPI inflation report. It's kind of weird. You should play the Powerball. I really should, dude. I'm not much of a lottery player, but honestly, with my luck with these, you know. All right, guys. SPY moving back up. SPY still technically green on the day. Still technically green. See if we bump down a little bit now. Yeah, but I mean, it could have been a better move, but it's all good. Weird. Yeah, and again, we're scalping this now. You can see we're up like 400 bucks. We're gonna get out that. We're up about 200 on the rest here. We're attacking this move on the downside. It's a weak report, and so we're shorting this one top step right now. We're gonna go ahead and cover the rest of that here if it'll fill me. Definitely getting some lag here. I might have to shut down my platform and spark it back up. Oh, crap, I didn't want to buy it there. Okay, we cut it out. All right, so now we are up really big on the day on this report. Put our money where our mouth is here. We're at 640 profit on the day. We got a 4-to-1 win-loss ratio. I'm going to reset Quant Tower, though. See if we get it a little bit better. You've never seen me this emotional? Oh, dude, if you've never seen me this emotional, then you haven't been watching very long. Definitely top 3 most emotional traders in the world right now. Honestly, I'm proud of myself. Honestly, I'm kind of weirded out, you know? So I'm going to tell you the story. And again, I'm going to preface it with, like, look, I don't believe in the law of attraction. Okay, I don't believe in the law of attraction. All right, I'm going to preface everything I'm about to say with this right now. With that said, though, I've told this story a bunch of times, but over the last few years, I've had some weird occurrences. All right, one of them, I'll tell you the few occurrences. One of them, and it makes me think I'm living in a freaking simulation, is what it makes me think. You know, if you don't know the simulation theory is if it's possible for our technology to get to a point where our current reality could be artificial, meaning like technology, AI and artificial intelligence and AI and graphics could get to a point where what we see now could be computer generated, which we're getting pretty close now. But if one day in the future that's possible, it's actually much more likely that we're already in a simulation. That's the simulation theory, right? But anyways, moving on to that. And again, I don't believe, and I don't really believe this. I think they're fun things to talk about. But anyways, I was getting my daughter's phone set up, right? And we were trying to like process like a keyword or a password or something. And we knew the password, we had unlocked it already. We were trying to process something to get my daughter's phone set up. And every time it would say something like, we hit a snag. And every time we did that, my daughter would be like, it's not going to work. And so sure thing, it didn't work. She kept doing it over and over again. Eventually I stopped, and we tried that like 8, 9, 10 times. Eventually I said, hey, no, we're going to be positive about it. It's going to work this next time. Like this next time it's going to work. And so sure enough, we pressed the button, and right after saying that, weirdly enough, it works, right? Then we go to baseball that season. And I was noticing this weird thing where every time I would turn baseball games on, whoever the next batter up would hit a home run. You know, and it got to a point where I told my wife and daughter about it one day laying in bed. And I had been telling my wife about it. I said, hey, look, every time I turn this game on, an MLB game on, the next person at bat hits a home run, whoever it is. And so I was like, we're gonna test it right now, and we put on an Angels game, and I think like Caleb Ward is his name. I think it's Caleb Ward. Let me see. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyways, we put on an Angels game, and the very next batter goes up and hits a home run. And my daughter and my wife's jaw dropped. They're like, what the heck is going on? And again, eventually it stopped working. Like, eventually after that, it didn't work. But afterwards, for a while, I thought we were living in a freaking simulation. It was very strange. Anyways, CPI started to dip. Taylor Ward. Yeah. Maybe it's him. Angels player. All right, look at the volume show up. Look at this volume increase here, though. Look at the drop right now. So again, NASDAQ busting down here. We did make some money on Top Step. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, man. Again, I don't actually believe in it. I just think it was fun. It was fun to troll my family with it for a little bit. Yeah, I'm seeing weird lag. I don't know what it is. I mean, I have a gigabit internet connection though, fiber optic. So, you know, yeah, maybe we're in the Matrix. Yeah, so again, y'all get ready. Short or long today, guys? Inflation data higher than expected, team. Higher than expected. All right, team. Bitcoin ETF day. It's Bitcoin ETF today. Yeah, it's Bitcoin ETF day, team. Interesting. So again, CPI day today. Should be a fun day trading, guys. Y'all ready? Yeah, we're checking out a couple things. Bitcoin ETF day today, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Look at NASDAQ ripping back up. SPY moving back up. We did have a pretty good day. Let me see what else we're looking at. Again, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's actually kind of strange. My internet's kind of acting up a little bit today. Quant Tower's even taking a little bit to load here. Very strange. Okay, so we're logged in the Top Step. Pull up the NASDAQ here. Yeah, even my data's not showing up on maybe it's Quant Tower acting up today. Again, we had a good day already. I mean, here's my day. We're up 650, but my charts are a little slow. Yeah, if anybody's hit the live button next to the play button if you're not caught up. Yeah, it could. Okay, so you're Quant Tower too. Anybody else using Quant Tower? Okay, it must be them. I mean, we ended up making some good money, though, so I'm okay with it, but still. Yeah, looking at everything else here, man. So, again, CPI inflation data. Again, if you're just now joining us on the stream, you can rewind the stream and see that. You can rewind the stream and see that we guessed CPI month over month exactly right. And this is our third CPI report in a row, 3 months in a row. People have asked, hey, what's your prediction for CPI? We've told people our prediction while prefacing it with, we have no idea what we're talking about. We're wildly wrong about everything. But the last 3 months in a row, our month over month CPI prediction has been exactly right. Today we guessed 0.3. We showed up at 0.3. Last time we guessed 0.2. We showed up at 0.2. I can't remember what we guessed the time before that, but we got it exactly right. And so very strange. You'll never hear the end of it from me. I'm just gonna brag about this for, until the sky falls. Okay. Getting strange here. Again, I'm still kind of weirded out. Maybe I'm gonna start betting on this. Maybe I should start betting on my predictions here. Knowing my luck, though, I'm gonna bet on it. I'm gonna be wrong. The first time I put money down on it, I'm gonna get it wrong. All right, so SPY going technically green on the day, despite CPI inflation data coming in low. I think CPI numbers is going to come back. I think the CPI number is going to come in higher than expected. Volts, the CPI report dropped 17 minutes ago, so you're very late, dude. The report's already out, brother. Hit the live button, dude. Is Boeing a buy at the price? I'm not going to say anything's a buy or sell. I don't freaking know. I bought Boeing yesterday or the day before after it dipped. I'm green on it right now. Amazon's still starting to push up. But again, we're still pretty flat in everything. Again, if you look at the left side, this is the NASDAQ 100. That's the NASDAQ. Here's the S&P. They're both pretty flat. You can see the light blue line. This light blue line right here, the previous closing price. It's the red to green level. If it's over that, it's green. If it's below that, it's red on the day. You can kind of see the SPY is technically red on the day. The NASDAQ is technically red, but they're essentially break even. You can also see the Bitcoin spot ETF from BLK here. IBIT is the symbol. IBIT. People said that it wouldn't affect Bitcoin. Again, here's the Bitcoin price right now. Again, we did affect Bitcoin. Now we're moving up a little bit, but we'll see if it continues. Well, yeah, you're late. The numbers came in at 0.3% month over month. So again, the inflation data numbers are already out, team. Yeah, this has been fun. This has been fun. All right. So again, the data's out. Yeah, so tomorrow, again, remember, tomorrow we have big bank earnings coming out tomorrow. So specifically, we have JP Morgan. Tomorrow is what I mean. Tomorrow we have specifically JP Morgan. We have Delta Airlines, United Health, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citigroup, Bank of New York. So big boy earnings tomorrow, as well as the other side of the inflation coin with PPI dropping tomorrow. So a big day tomorrow, guys, a big day. Stick around. We are going to trade at the open. We are going to get ready to trade at the opening bell. And if Quant Tower's not working, we're just going to be honest, we're just going to trade our big boy account in stocks then. Again, in stocks, team. Yeah, in stocks, we have a $50,000, $60,000 account. And so we'll day trade that at the open for fun. That'll be really fun. We'll see how that goes. Quant Tower's acting a little iffy. This is so confusing for CPI. I don't think it's that confusing. I think CPI came in slightly worse than expected, and the market is slightly down. I think it's pretty sensical, I would say. You know, Q's still technically green on the day. You can see it on the left side. You can see the iShares Bitcoin spot ETF on the right side with IBIT here. It's at 2730s right now. It's had a pretty good morning so far. They said they had over $1 million, or maybe it's over 2 million. Again, you can see CPI coming at 0.3% versus 0.2% expected. We'll see if this continues here, guys. See if this continues. All right, guys, we got 122,500 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Help your boy grow to 123,000 subscribers here, team. We get earnings season starting next month. I'm excited for it. Earnings season starts. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow we have PPI and bank earnings. Core CPI came in higher than expected as well. $2.1 billion is the record single day fund flow for an ETF. Will Bitcoin hit that? So again, Gensler issued a statement. He said, quote, while we approved the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin ETFs today, we did not approve or endorse Bitcoin, end quote. Gary G. I already traded the news, guys. So again, what we just did, again, if you didn't see what we just did, again, we're Quant Tower's giving us some issues today. So what we did is we shorted the NASDAQ after a small bounce. So basically what we target off of, like the way we trade these events is we piggyback off of big moves. And so on the Q here, we traded the NASDAQ, but it's essentially the Q price action in futures. And again, you could day trade all that good stuff in futures, no PDT rule. But what we did was we waited for this big reaction. And then we saw a big bounce back and we shorted into that bounce back. Again, kind of piggybacking off of this larger move. We don't want to blindly short here. That's too much risk. That's a lot of risk. Instead, we want to piggyback off of the move, wait for it to bounce back a little bit, enter a short, and then cover on the quick breakdown. That's what we did. Again, right around the volume weighted average price can make it a lot better. And again, you can kind of see my stats here. So again, this is what we did on this report. So we did trade this report in futures. We are up 650, or we're up 637.50. We got a 4-to-1 win-loss ratio. Again, we built up a cushion and then we took some risks into that cushion. Made almost 650. So we'll take it. We'll take it. But that's how we traded it. Again, I'm certainly not recommending others trade it that way. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, funded program in futures, great way to learn how to day trade, limited risk. If you're good enough to pass it, you get between 50 to 150K in funding. They give you a demo and they test your skill. And just taking the challenge, build your skill. If you lose, it's not the end of the world, though. You're only out what you pay for the combine. The base one's $50 essentially. But if you're good enough to pass it, 90% split, you get to keep your first 10K in profit. This is the most legit one in the world. They've been around for over a decade, pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year, fund thousands a year. Check them out. You got free funding coaches as well with them, a bunch of cool stuff. Great resources. Check out the link. They are a sponsor, of course, though. I'm biased because they pay me money. Always transparent about it. What I try to do here at Beginner Trading is just give people a free resource and community. Like I try to give people a free resource and community where we don't sell a course. We don't sell a service. We don't claim to be experts. We don't act like a guru. I don't even claim to be a good trader. We report economic data incredibly quickly. We're the fastest people to report these reports over everybody else. If you look back at the stream, we are the fastest people to cover this. We drop it within a quarter of a second usually. And so that's why we get thousands of people that tune in for this report. And so again, if you want a one-stop shop, we also cover FOMC meetings, Jerome Powell conferences. We cover all the major earnings reports and calls, and we live stream all of it completely live. And so again, subscribe if you haven't yet. We appreciate it. Thanks for the love. CPI came in higher than expected. Markets dropping. Yeah, definitely. We got 35 minutes here. 35 minutes. Amazon breaking down. Market's technically green. You can see the Q technically green, technically red on the day. Now it's technically green. Yeah, Kenny. I mean, if you're losing a bunch, bump down to the smaller, cheaper combine. It's $50. You know, you can literally take it 20 times. You know, before it's going to cost you over $1,000, which is most people, again, in day trading, put up thousands and lose their entire account in day trading when they're first getting started. I know I personally did. I know a lot of other people did as well. It's most people, and anybody that claims different, and they're usually trying to sell you a course. But most day traders put up money. Generally, it's over 1,000, and they end up losing all of it in their first couple weeks. That's very common tale, very common tale. And so again, the benefit of Top Step is that it limits that risk. You only lose what you pay for the combine. In this case, it's $50. You know, yeah, good day for me so far. Again, IBIT overview up here. Nasdaq technically red on the day. You can see Q technically red. A lot of stuff starting to pull back so far. Hey, congrats, Hollow. Nice, brother. Yeah, most of the people criticizing Top Step or other prop firms don't day trade, you know, so of course they wouldn't understand why it's useful. All right, team. Let's do this. All right, so markets are still starting to break down. We finally got it working here. All right, so we finally got it working. Okay. You see the NASDAQ here starting to flush. We are going to be live trading the open. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ start to break down. And then here's the Bitcoin ETF on the right. But look at the NASDAQ flush. It's the same price action as the Q. But we are starting to break down. Let's see how Bitcoin reacts to this. Looks like Quant Tower finally started to act, right? Alright, so here's the NASDAQ. Again, IBIT still moving up a little bit. Everything else kind of dipping down some. I don't give people stock picks harsh. I just don't give people stock picks. I don't want to be a day trading guru, brother. You know, so like that's not really what I do. My big thing again is I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. We're mostly an economic reports channel, so we cover economic data like CPI, PPI, and we cover it quickly. The reason, again, we get thousands of people here when this data drops, we had like over 3,000 people here live when it drops, and it's just me running this channel. And so you might see other big networks get more than that or whatever, but this is just me. The reason we get so many people here is because we cover it fast, you know, but we're really an economic reports channel. We day trade, we swing trade, we invest. If you guys know me, I'm a big believer in long-term investing. The long-term investing model is the biggest edge you'll ever get in markets. It's something in which everybody should be doing. If you're not stashing money away for long-term through value investing in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, gold, you know, whatever index fund, broad market inflation hedge you want to use, you know, real estate, like whatever you want to use, you should be hedging long-term. If you don't, and you're sitting on cash long-term, you're almost certain going to lose money over a 10 or 15-year period. Just from inflation, prices get higher. Hey, congrats, Joshua. If that's true, brother. Congrats, man. What are bonds doing right now? We'll wait for a little bounce and see if we get short. But yeah, I think my internet's a little iffy today, guys. Wait, what happened? I see what's the problem. Okay, guys, here. I gotta disconnect my Wi-Fi. There's a chance when I disconnect this, guys, that a screen, like a black screen turns out. Okay, there's a chance that when I do it, a black screen turns out. So bear with me, team. I know exactly what's going on. There we go. That's better. Right, so hey, let me know if you can hear me. Everything should be smoother now. This is much better. I'm gonna short this. All right, so we're short one contract at the NASDAQ here. We're up a little bit. Again, this is like day trading the S&P 500. This is like day trading the QQQ in futures, but there's no PDT rule. This is the benefit of futures. We're already up very big on the day. All right, so y'all can hear me, right? All right, good. Good, good. All right, so we might add another position because we can. Shoot for a little bit larger gain. All right, again, we're in 2 contracts at the NASDAQ. Flush down for me. Gonna take half off of there, just lock it in. Lock in some profit there. All right, we're gonna lock that in as well. So, building up some cushion on the day, building up some cushion. Up a little bit. Could have held it a little bit longer, but that's all right. All right, good, so we're set. Look at the Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, ripping up here. Guys, so look at the Bitcoin ETF making moves. All right, we're gonna short a little bit more here. See how this goes. I don't want to let this run too much though. So we'll add another contract here and that'll be it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that, so I don't want to take that risk. So we'll let the rest ride and then see if we get anything else good. Look at Amazon rip back up. We do have the Q moving back up here. We'll see if it holds. Alright, we'll sit. I wanted to short a little bit more, but that's alright. I'm a little bit late. Let's see if we can flush down. I'd like to see it completely retest. One of my favorite things to do is to piggyback off of larger moves. Alright, so we're already slightly green. IBIT still pushing up here, guys. Really interesting nuance. And again, we're day trading futures here, team. This is what we're day trading in futures. Yeah. We don't want to take too much risk in my funded account here, though. So, like, I don't think I'm going to add to it. I mean, we're funded in 3 different accounts. And so no matter what here, we're okay. 25 minutes until the market opens here, 25 minutes. See, I do like this move here, though. So we might add to this, fix our average, and see if we get a breakdown. It might take a little bit, but we're okay with taking the risk. Big rejection on the top wick there, so that means a lot of selling pressure showing up. There we go. All right, big upwick means a lot of selling pressure, but we still can't just not worry about it at all. We got to be prepared to cut it if it goes against us, of course. I want to give it time to work, though. One more second, we're going to cut it pretty quickly here. Okay, we'll probably cut it short to get a little bit too close to the bottom range. But it's pretty small, things considered, how much we're up today and everything like that. So this is pretty small. Watch the NASDAQ here. There's a correction back down. We're right at the previous closing price, so that's a pretty good short level. Give it back some of the gains we made, but that's why we make the gains, is so we can take larger risks. I'm not going to hold this forever, though, and let it keep ripping, though. So, like, we're going to have to cut it pretty soon. And luckily, we built the cushion up. Very close to cutting it. It's just chopping back and forth. We get one more big push up. Yeah, we're just going to have to cut it. Just too much profit. Or too much bullish action right there, unfortunately. With this stuff, it's all about limiting risk. And so we can build up a cushion and then take larger risks. And if we lose, it's not the end of the world. But the goal, of course, is to keep grinding. No, it's just futures contracts, right? So futures originally were created so that farmers could lock in yields on crop prices, right? So farmers could lock in yields because they would grow crops, and by the time it came to yield those crops, prices had fluctuated so much that like it wasn't profitable for them as farmers, and so they started selling contracts locking in the crop prices to investors, and they called them futures because they were betting on the future price of commodities. Over time, though, those contracts evolved to where you can now essentially trade the QQQ. You can essentially trade the S&P 500 price action in what's called the E-mini S&P and the NASDAQ S&P, or the NASDAQ E-mini. You can trade gold. You can trade all these different things in futures. And there's no PDT rule. And so traders use it to get around the PDT rule because you can day trade the SPY, no PDT rule. Where if you tried to day trade the SPY, in the stock market, you're going to need 25K to do so without restriction, right? So there's a lot of benefits of futures contracts. And again, if you want to learn futures, try a funded account program like Top Step. There's the link. Check it out. All right, guys, market opens up in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Yeah, we don't ever really use our Discord, though. Our Discord's pretty empty. Maybe I should promote my Discord more, but... Hold on, let me talk to... What's his name? All right, guys. And so again, the Q moving all the way back up, which is a really interesting thing from CPI coming in. Yeah, I mean, for most people, that's not going to be the case. PDT rule means that if you want to day trade stocks actively, like if you want to take more than 3 day trades a week with a margin account in stocks, you need to have over $25,000 in liquid equity in your account. And so if you have less than $25,000 in a stock account, that's a margin account, you can't day trade actively. You can't day trade specifically more than 3 times per rolling 5-day period. You can't day trade more than 3 times a week, essentially, if you have less than $25,000 in your account. It's severely restricted for stocks. There's no reason, ultimately, to risk that much as a new trader, because most new traders end up losing, and so they're basically forcing new traders to lose $25,000+. It just makes absolutely no sense. It's one of the reasons futures market is so useful, because it allows traders to trade as much as they want with no PDT rule, basically. Like, I can day trade futures over and over again, no PDT rule. Hey, so can y'all hear me? There we go. Coin is up. I use TOS for stocks, but for futures, I use Quant Tower. Oh, and Top Step. Yeah, market's rising up, which is very strange here. So look at the market rip. Again, we're still slightly red from CPI, but it's not the big red day a lot of people expected. And again, the big story today is the Bitcoin ETF. You can see the Bitcoin ETF IBIT heading into the open. That's the big story of the day. So we're going to end this poll probably. %47 say higher, but I'm sure a lot of those votes are from... all right, so... Look at the NASDAQ pump. Interesting. Not pump, I'm sorry. Look at the IBIT dip is what I meant to say. All right, so with the Bitcoin spot ETF break the single day ETF volume record today. Yeah, we're just kind of sitting tight here, guys, waiting for something to happen. Yeah, I think Pawn and I talked about how we're gonna kind of streamline everything on the Discord, and we're gonna delete most of the channels. I think there's just too much. We got Kramer said. We got the Bloomberg thing. We'll delete that. I don't see anything actually coming through. I don't think any of these other stuff are coming through too. I think these are all old. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna get rid of this altogether. All right, team. Waiting for the opening bell today, team. Waiting for the opening bell. All right, so again, the NASDAQ ripping up finally. Very choppy action since this all happened. Get rid of options. Get rid of signals. Get rid of the Kramer said stuff. Reuters news. All right, guys. So look at the Q over 409. Look at the IBIT. It broke highs, guys. So IBIT just broke highs today. Break it over this level. We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I think it's 2 billion is I think the single day record. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 2 billion. Again, is that wrong? Is it 2 billion? I'm pretty sure it's something like that. All right, so again, we are consolidating. We are consolidating. There we go. So that should work. All right, so we kind of consolidated everything in the main trader chat, if you know, to check it out. All right, so again, the Q's still over that. Look at Amazon breaking highs here. Disney starting to move. Still moving down. Nvidia still at about 550. Check out Nvidia here. So there's IBIT. Here's the Q. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia at 550s right now. All right, guys. So again, we consolidated everything. All cords could get wrecked here. Yeah, we'll see. They're gonna send you your login. It depends on which platform you use. Chase, Tesla near 230 critical support. ES testing. Volume weighted average price. No, and we're not gonna promote any other traders here. There's too many people that just try to plug like their own content. Like they create a fake name, they join other people's streams, and they're like, hey, you ever heard of this guy? And it's really them. Like it's actually them. You know, which judging by how small that channel is and how little views they get, that's probably, you know, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but yeah, we're not going to allow that here. It's crazy how mad people get too. Like I've had this before. Like you start to notice it. You get people that join the live stream. Look at Nvidia break over the volume weighted average price over the 200 EMA level. So Nvidia's starting to rise. But yeah, it's like you have people that join the stream and they're super nice, and then you realize that they're just trying to plug like their own channel kind of secretly. And so then whenever you tell them no, like, hey, you can't do that, then they just turn into these huge haters. Like I've always said, like nobody's a bigger hater than somebody that has tried what you're doing and failed. And so because of that, it's too hard to tell who's doing that, and just like, so we just don't promote any other channels here. I can't vet the other channels either. So, you know, sorry. We get that so much here. It's hard, you know. And you know you can tell who it is because they'll be like, hey, you ever heard of Trader Bill? And I'll be like, who the heck is Trader Bill? And I'll look them up and they've got like no subscribers and no views. And it's like, okay, you're Trader Bill. You just got a fake account. Yeah, all good. As long as you don't turn into like some undercover hater here now, Nick. It's all good, bro. All right, guys. Again, IBIT pull it back a little bit to the volume weighted average price. Higher than expected is bad, Michael. It's bad. It's worse than expected. It means prices are higher than expected ultimately. I know Trader Bill's the GOAT personally, but like still, you know. And it's so hard to tell. Like, you got so many quote unquote mentors. Like the mentor like space has gotten so freaking saturated. Like now you got 1,000 mentors, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, okay? If you got some 18-year-old with braces trying to tell you he's a stock market expert, run away. Like, run away as fast as you freaking can from that guy. You know, I promise, dude, trading takes a long time to really learn how to do it successfully. And the reason you get so many nonsense gurus is this. I'm going to explain it like this, all right? So just listen to what I'm about to say. It'll make perfect sense, all right? There's a few things to understand. All right, anybody that's claiming to be an expert or a guru, number one, anybody that's claiming to be an expert or a guru should be showing their broker statements. What better credibility building thing is there than showing your actual broker statements? Not just one time. If they only show it once, that means that was the 1 month they were profitable and the rest of the months they were probably losing. And so if they've never showed broker statements before and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'm going to show you my broker statement this month, it's probably the 1 month that they were profitable. Okay, just to clarify that. The second thing is, like, what better credibility boosting thing would there be to show broker statements? You know? Like, what better credibility boosting thing is there? Like, you'd be able to sell 1,000 courses a day if you had some super like profit. If you had the results that they claim to have, easy thing to do. Just do that. Again, the reason you don't see it is because everybody's full of crap. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is that trading takes a long time to be successful, and sometimes early success can mislead people. A lot of people are trading a variation of what's called the martingale roulette strategy. If you don't know what I mean by that, the martingale roulette strategy essentially means you double down your size until you win, right? So you go to the roulette table and you bet $1, you lose. You bet $2, you lose. You bet $4, you lose. You bet $8, you lose. You bet $16, and to where you're going to have to lose around 6 times in a row to actually lose. And to some people, they're going to be like, yo, you know, I'm never going to lose. We're never going to lose 6 times in a row. Yes, you will. And when you lose, you're going to lose freaking everything you got, plus more if you have it. Plus more than everything you got. Anyways, so in trading, a lot of new traders do that as well. A lot of new traders will take a position and it'll go against them. And so they'll add to it and it'll go against them some more. And so they'll add to it. And then they finally win from just doubling down their size over and over again. And then, so basically, you're going to have a really high accuracy rate if you do that. If you do that, your accuracy rate's going to be through the freaking roof. It's going to be super high. And that might mislead new traders into thinking they've got some super profitable system that nobody ever figured out before, and that somehow they're just the most profitable trader in the world. You know, and then a lot of them take it like, say you do that, you do what I just said, and you make 5K in a week, right? 1 week, you make 5K. Then they turn around and they start posting on social media, I'm making 5K a week trading. And it's like, no, you're not. You made 5K 1 week. You made 5K. You know, and again, eventually, like I've said, and I've said the same thing, but I'm saying it over and over again so people understand what's out there. I'm saying it over and over again so people understand what to look for, so you understand what it really is. So if you're having some good results just doubling down your size or adding to losing positions, if you're having a super high accuracy rate, if you're showing big profit doing that, again, eventually the check's going to come. Right? Eventually, it's not going to work, and whatever you're in is going to keep dropping, and you're going to lose your entire account. That's why it doesn't work. And so you show a good accuracy rate, you make big money, eventually the check's going to come. And so That's what you see floating around the trading space. That's what you see floating around the trading sphere. You see a bunch of people that are trading some variation of the martingale. They have 1 week where they make $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is, and they turn around and they start acting like they're making that every week. You know, it's the same thing you see with Amazon FBA businesses, right? You get somebody that on Amazon FBA, they had, you know, 50K in sales 1 year, right? So they might make like 10 or 15K a year margin wise. Like if you got 50K in sales, let's say your margin is, you know, 15K out of 50, whatever percentage that is. I can't think of it right now. You know, so let's say your margins are like around like 30 to 40%, right? Let's say, which is really good margins, by the way. So you're making 50K in sales, you're actually making like 15K, you know, but they turn around and they say, look, I'm making 50K in sales, you know, and they did it 1 year, but they're acting like they're making 50K a year or 100K a year. There's just a lot of misleading going on there. And again, new traders are the ones that are the most prone to fall for that, especially if you relate to the person. Like if you're a kid too, if you're a young kid with braces, you know, you might want to believe that there's another guy just like you out here just doing it. You know, but most of them are full of crap, and you have to understand exactly what it is, which is that. And again, this is coming from somebody that doesn't claim to be an expert. I'm mostly a long-term investor. We day trade, we swing trade, we invest, we day trade, you know, we do all this stuff. I don't claim to be an expert. I don't want that pressure on me, you know, and I'm also not selling a course. And so it's like, I'm not doing any of that stuff, and I hope people understand how it really is, which is that. That's how it really is. And I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. And sometimes the truth hurts. You know, like if I'm spending 5K on a mentorship program by some 18-year-old with braces, what I just said might make me mad. You know, because the truth hurts sometimes. You know, I'm shattering dreams by saying it. Nobody wants to hear that. People instead want to believe that they're going to be able to take whatever money and turn it into financial freedom or whatever it is, but most of the time it's not. And you got to see it for what it actually is. And that's what it is. Out of breath now. That's my rant for the day. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. If they are that profitable, they don't need to sell any product, period. I disagree with that. All right, I disagree with that, okay? And again, now to give you the other side of this argument. Smart people diversify income, right? So I don't care how good of a trader I am. If I'm spending time sitting on social media, on YouTube, I'm going to monetize that. You know, like people are always like, oh, people always cry about sponsors. It's like, look, if I'm spending 4 hours a day streaming, you better believe I'm going to monetize that stream. I'm not sitting here out the kindness of my heart. I'm doing this to make money like everybody else on YouTube, you know, and I would trust somebody more if they were just honest about it like that, instead of somebody that's just saying, ooh, you know, look how much money I'm donating to charity. I'm building schools overseas, you know. It's like, all right, whatever, you know, but I'd rather just somebody be real about it. And so I'm trying to be real about it myself. All right, guys, here's the opening bell. We got 1 minute left. NVIDIA testing highs right now. It's at 550. The NASDAQ is basically pulled all the way back up. The Bitcoin ETF is trending around highs. At least the BLK Bitcoin ETF is trending around highs. Let's see if it actually holds. All right, team. 40 seconds here. 40 seconds. Is Tesla bleeding? All right, let's do this. Tesla is bleeding. It's at 230. I heard a lot of people say 230 was like a big support level. Like a big support level. All right, here we go. 20 seconds. All right, so here's the opening bell, guys. There's the opening bell. IBIT broke highs at the opening bell. Look at this rip for IBIT. IBIT breaking highs at the opening bell. Let's see if it continues. Still ripping up pretty big here. It's retraced all the way back down to 28. Look at the Q rip up, though. So the Q is ripping up. Still trying here. All right, so Bitcoin at 28.2. Look at that big retracement to 30 and then back down here. Very strange. All right, guys, Q dipping down a little bit now. Look at these moves. All right. NASDAQ steady ripping up here. Look at this big pop. Let's see if it actually holds. See if the NASDAQ keeps ripping. All right, so look at the big retracement on the NASDAQ too. NASDAQ at 410.13s here, 410.13s. Interesting here. Got a little bounce up. We'll see if it holds in the bounce. Look at Amazon, guys. Amazon is absolutely ripping up, like huge rip. Crazy. Here's the Q. Let me see where my actual portfolio is. All right, we're green on the day, slightly. Look at Amazon right now, team. So NASDAQ started to bounce back up. We might actually day trade this. All right, we got 25 shares here on the NASDAQ. This is my actual stock account too. All right, we're gonna take 2 contracts, 50 shares here. We're at the top of the range. See, the futures market just gives me so much more for so much less. Like, just in this position alone. You want to know why you trade futures? Quant Tower's acting up for me today. This position alone. You want to know how much equity this position cost me? This position cost me $20,500. I'd probably add some more to it, though. IBIT still moving up a little bit. There we go. Let me go ahead and take half of that off, just lock in. Just kind of scalping this until we get Quant Tower back working here. Grinding it up a little bit on the day trading the Q. Look at the Q rip. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lock in that little baby profit. We'll try to build up $100. We're scalping this, of course, in stocks. But look at the Q monster rip. All right, team. Still struggling with the quant tower. Let me hit some coffee here. Alright, so I think I got quant tower finally working here, so we're going to be able to trade a little bit larger now. Alright, so here's quant tower on the right. Look at that big move up in the NASDAQ here, team. Wow. Complete rebound from CPI inflation data. So the market didn't even care about CPI inflation data. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the market's nonsensical. Yeah, 0.3% was what they showed up as, 0.3% higher than expected. Alright, so we got a nice little dip. I'm going to try buying this dip. It is a little risky, but hey. Different account, so we're going to try to build up a cushion in this one first. Boom, $150 cushion real quick, $145 cushion. Again, different account. But we'll take it. Let's see if we can do some more here. Yeah, 50K, it could hit Bitcoin. Or Bitcoin could hit 50K. Bitcoin at 48.6 thousand right now. Just to show you Bitcoin's rise. Look. So here's Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin rising here. Wow. Crazy. Bitcoin to put 50K. Yeah, it's getting close. It really is getting close. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step, funded account program and futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you can't pass the test, you're probably going to lose less than you would putting the money up yourself. Again, most day traders lose. It's one of the reasons we talked about the PDT rule earlier. The PDT rule is absolutely ridiculous because most day traders fail in the beginning. And so if you force a new trader to save up 25K for their first account, you're causing new traders to lose 25K. The easiest way to limit your risk if you really want to learn day trading is a funded account program like you see me trade today. Trading this is basically trading the Q price action. Like this is basically the Q price action. I'm actually going to buy this dip. This is basically the same as the Q price action. The price is different, but it's essentially the same thing. All right, so we just made another $65 right there scalping this. And again, I can day trade this right side as many times as I want. The patterns are very similar to blue chip S&P 500 patterns. You can trade the S&P directly, but it's very similar to like Apple, Amazon patterns. There's just no PDT where I can day trade as much as I want. These funded account programs are allowed where they limit your risk. The base one's $49. If you pass it, great. You get a 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit. There's free funding coaches to work on getting funded. And just taking the challenge, build your skill. But again, if you're good enough to actually pass it, they can fund you. If you're not good enough, you're probably going to lose less than putting the money up yourself. At the base one, you lose $49. You can always reset it for $49 and start over again. And it's just a lot cheaper than putting up thousands yourself, risking that as a new day trader, where most new day traders lose. And so again, check it out. Here's the link. Look at Bitcoin. Rip it up. Break it highs again for Bitcoin. Break it highs again. Part of me wants to buy the dip. I see kind of like a cup and handle nuance to this, but yeah. All right, guys, so we got a pretty big pullback here, a pretty big dip. I'm going to buy the NASDAQ down here again and see if we can scalp it. We got a $200 cushion on the day, so we could probably add to this one as well. Markets are very volatile today from CPI report, and then tomorrow, remember, we have PPI, the other side of that inflation token. So we'll add to this once, see if we can fix our trade, and then if it breaks down, we're just gonna have to sell quick. All right, so we're back up to flat. Let's see if we get slightly green on it. There we go. Going back and forth between break even and green. Gonna have to cut that. So we basically gave it back, but we're flat on the day now, which is better than losing, I guess, or losing big. Let me see, pictures. All right, guys, bear with me, team. All right, guys. You guys ready? All right, we got a big dip. We might add to it, man. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin pushing up towards 50K. Will Bitcoin hit 50K today? Let's see. Oh, what do I want to use this on? All right, guys. Look at IBIT surge. All right, guys, so we got a little dip in Bitcoin ETFs. Yeah, let's see what else we got. Yeah, so we got Bitcoin pushing up towards 50K. Huge moves. There it is. Let's pull this to the front. There we go. All right, so huge move up here. I'm loving it by the dip. Pullback may only be small. Yeah, Bitcoin up to 49.35 thousand, 49.35K. Still running up huge here, team. Absolutely huge. Let's see if it keeps it up. Where will Bitcoin close the day is the question, team. Again, where will Bitcoin close the day? And I don't know, man. I'm going to go with 52,000. At least that's what I hope. I hope it gets approved for 52. We'll see if it does. All right, team. This is great news for crypto. Look at Bitcoin rise. Bitcoin testing highs again. You can see the spot big ETF IBIT, which is BLK's ETF. All right, team. And again, we're going to stick around. We are going to be doing a crypto show today. So, stick around. All right, so let's go back. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. I'm going to put TradingView, the actual Bitcoin price up, so we can see actual Bitcoin. And again, we're going to switch. Actually, I think we're... Here's Bitcoin right now. 5-minute chart. We'll put a 1-minute chart up. And you can see IBIT, the Bitcoin spot ETF. Here's a 1-minute chart. Look at the pumps right now in Bitcoin, man. Yeah, my quant tower. Also, guys, if you haven't already, with that said, speaking of TradingView, let me see if it'll let me. Speaking of TradingView, if you want to check out one of my favorite sponsors, it's a company called Chart Prime. It's a TradingView indicator service. You can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Really useful. I use two specific indicators: the Market Oracle and the Market Dynamics. Here is the S&P 500 chart right here, and you can kind of see how useful this can be. Again, the strong indicators are the most powerful, but check out it. It showed you this entire channel. Look at how powerful the strong ones are. Like, seriously, like let's go ahead and back test the strong ones really quick if we can. Like, number one, you see the strong one right here, beautiful bounce. This one worked as well, but one works. Sell signal worked. Strong buy signal worked. Sell signal there worked. Strong buy signal worked. And this is a 5-minute chart. Sell signal there worked. Strong buy signal there worked. Strong sell signal there worked. Buy signal there. You could argue that that one didn't work, and we still wait to see this one. So again, that's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one you might be able to argue. So 8 out of 10. Let's just be safe and call it 8 out of 10. That's 80% accuracy today. Again, this is a TradingView service you can use in forex, futures, anything with a symbol on TradingView, you can use it. And again, there's so much stuff that they offer. Market Dynamics is really useful. Again, they have oscillators, screeners, back testers. Again, the Market Dynamics shows you these things where the highs are, where potential flag patterns are. Like, look at this right here. Just genuinely useful. You can see it shows you the nice trends that they have, where major support or resistance is. It's just a really powerful tool. It's like 40 or 50 bucks a month if you use my link. And look at the strong signal showing up back here. You saw it when it showed up, and then look at the drops that we're actually getting from it. And so again, you can use this on any time frame, on a long-term hourly time frame, on a short-term time frame. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you. Nobody can. But again, genuinely useful. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link up here. They are a sponsor. I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money. But if you want to check them out, here is the link. Again, great way to help support your boy here in this channel. All right, so let's be Bitcoin dipping down some now. Dipping down some. Bopped over 49K for a second. Bitcoin popped over 49K for a second. You can see IBIT starting to dip down a little bit. Remember, tomorrow we have PPI inflation data as well, guys. PPI. So again, we're going to move everybody over to our crypto channel. We do have a live crypto channel called Beginner Crypto. When I move everybody over there, be sure to subscribe. Team, be sure to subscribe. As soon as we close the stream down, it should immediately bring you to the new stream. If for whatever reason it doesn't, again, I'm going to put this link up. If for whatever reason it doesn't, I'm going to put this link up. Give your boy a follow there on this channel. All right, so let me make sure this one more time. Custom, we got redirect working here. Let me switch over. Again, if it doesn't bring you to the crypto channel for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, if it doesn't bring you there. Here's the link. Check it out. Join us. Again, as soon as we close the stream, it should bring you there. If it doesn't for whatever reason, crypto stream. There's the link right there. And again, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. Bitcoin pulling back. Join the stream. We'll see if Bitcoin can break 25 or break 50K today. Join the stream. We're going to be streaming live right now. I'll see you guys over there. Good luck. Y'all be safe. We'll see you guys there.